And by the way, it was great to see Liberty Linda here yesterday. Marvelous for her to stop by. The return of Liberal Steve, Tea Party Bob. The gang is all here, and coming up today, if you happen to be out near Nampa at the Walmart Gary and Franklin, we'll be shooting another one of our award-winning videos. It'll be the return of the turkey and the turkey outfit, along with Santa Claus. And don't tell the folks at Walmart, but we will be, for entertainment purposes only, running around doing gosh knows what with turkeys, with stuffing. Kind of a tribute to the Roadrunner and the Coyote. And if you don't know that, you can always YouTube that. Who would have ever thought that would be our life at age 49? My parents are so proud. By the way, congratulations to Heath in Nampa for winning that our final pair of tickets to see Boise State versus Air Force. Thank you, Heath, for listening. We appreciate you. Coming up, your chance to win tickets to see Rod Stewart. Those tickets go on sale starting tomorrow. He'll be at the Ford Idaho Center. It's interesting. We've had several people coming up to me and saying, they're all about Rod Stewart, and, he's a very, very outgoing individual. So if you'd like to see a living legend of music, of rock and roll, Rod Stewart coming to the Ford Idaho Center, and you can win those tickets coming up just by listening to your friend Kevin Miller here at KIDO Talk Radio. Also, coming up, your chance to win K. Millie's Christmas Cash in the 8 o'clock hour, and at 3:05 by listening to Sean Hannity. We are here, Miller's Mission, where we ask you to give a turkey, don't be a turkey. Still waiting for some of our older friends to come by. Thank you, Patriot Ray. And, Mary, for stopping by as well, and all the people that donated, and to the young man that was called to action by Patriot Ray yesterday. We appreciate him, and we thank him for his hug, giving a bunch of turkeys, feeding a bunch of families here at the Nampa Walmart. We roll on. We're joined by Brittany, who's going to share with us her experience with the Boise Rescue Mission. Brittany, good morning.
Good morning.
So what brings you here to this palatial tent so early in the morning? Can you tell us a little bit about how the Boise Rescue Mission has had an impact on your life?
The Boise Rescue Mission is really important to me and my family. Before I came here, I was in a really, really hopeless place. I couldn't be a mother to my two beautiful girls. And when I came back here, it really brought hope back to my family.
Well, what were the challenges?
My lifestyle, I was drug addicted and in some really distressful situations and relationships.
How big of a challenge was it for you to beat the addiction? And we hear so much about addiction, whether it's prescription medication, whether it's the street drugs or what have you. Can you educate us on how addictive the drugs are?
Well, I've been battling addiction since I was about 16, and I'm 31 now. For a long time, I couldn't keep more than 90 days at the most clean, no matter how much I wanted it. I always did the opposite of what I wanted and would go right back to using when things were tough. And I put those drugs in place of my daughters, and it's really hard.
And you can speak to people this morning. That's a challenge, I think, to tell someone one-on-one. How can you speak so openly about it?
Because I know that that's not the person that I am today, and I think that God, it brings glory to God to see what kind of a woman I was before, and how far I've come in just 6 months.
Only 6 months? What do you expect of yourself in the next 6 months?
A lot of good, because a lot of good's come of this. Before, my mom wouldn't even talk to me.
How did that make you feel?
Really, really sad and really hopeless. I didn't believe in myself anymore because I had hurt her so bad.
And how have you come back?
Because of the rescue mission, and learning about God and who I am in Christ, now my mom talks to me on the phone. We have like a regular conversation. She allows me to have video visits with my kids every weekend. And my daughters actually trust me, to be there for them and have a relationship with them.
How important is that to you?
One step below my relationship with God. It's part of the reason I came out here was so that I could be the mom they needed.
What do you say to people listening right now that might be addicted, that might be in a bad relationship and have no hope?
In Christ and in God, there's another way, a way of peace and freedom from those bondages.
What has been the toughest challenge? We hear so much about people that have made the transition, and it's easier said than done, Brittany, here at KIDO Talk Radio. However, there must have been a breaking point or something where you're wondering whether or not you can do it and to get to the other side.
I couldn't talk to my kids for the first 30 days, and that was probably the most difficult time. And I was also battling coming back from a disease from my addiction that almost took my life prior to coming here. And so going through those tests was really hard, and I felt like I couldn't do it.
But you did.
Yeah. I knew that if I wanted to be a woman of integrity and to have courage, it would take me not walking out those doors.
What does that mean, woman of integrity?
Doing the right thing even when nobody's looking. When I'm alone in my room, what am I thinking about? Just knowing that no matter where I am and what I'm doing, that I'm living a life for Christ.
Great job, Brittany.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Folks, this is what you can do to make a difference, and it's not easy for Brittany and others to share the good works of the Boise Rescue Mission. Won't you join us in helping them by stopping by here at the Nampa Walmart, Garrity and Franklin, till Saturday night at 6 and making a difference. Your turkeys, your cash tax-deductible donations are changing lives here in the Treasure Valley. Phone number is 580-5436, 580-KIDO. We go to another gentleman who stopped by and who has left several of his bestsellers from the Japanese audience. Max joins us now with Kevin Miller at KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Max.
Good morning, Kevin. Thank you for what you're doing for everybody here.
Well, you're quite welcome. What can we do for you, sir?
Oh, I guess I'll be honest, I'm a shameless self-promoter. I'm here to plug my book.
Well, okay. I don't know if we can do that right now, but go ahead.
I have one moment. A lot
Max?
better now.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. That I drank some water. It went down
Max,
sideways.
you got to hit
Hello?
the ground running. It's called tune out.
Okay, here we
And
go.
if there's too
Anyway.
much tune out, then they tune out Kevin Miller, and then
Ow!
Kevin
No,
Miller's
don't
out.
do that. Guys,
It's too cold to
I've
be
got
out, Max.
I've got 5 books in print.
All right, Max.
Two.
Max,
Did
we
you
might
lose
have
me?
to. Right. We'll probably have to do the Plug Fest next week.
All righty. Thank you.
Okay, there we have it. I thought Max was going to talk about something else. My mistake. Phone number's here, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. If you heard yesterday's Miller Minute, you heard about an effort to impeach Donald Trump. Not kidding, here it is.
They accused the president of obstruction of justice in the Russian investigation for the firing of FBI Director James Comey, accepting without consent of Congress emoluments or profits from foreign states and from the U.S. government, and of undermining the federal judiciary and the freedom of the press. Now, in a statement, White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said their time, quote, would be better spent focusing on tax relief for American families and businesses. It's disappointing that extremists in Congress still refused to accept the president's decisive victory in last year's election.
And there we have it at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. 6 Democrats getting together to impeach the president.
There are already sufficient facts in the public record to warrant this start of impeachment proceedings in Congress, and given the magnitude of the constitutional crisis, there's no reason for delay. With regard to obstruction, we know President Trump fired FBI Director Comey while the Bureau was investigating potential collusion with Russia in the Trump campaign, and the president has already admitted on national television that he had the Russia investigation on his mind when he fired Director Comey.
580-5436, 580-KIDO. Kevin Miller in the morning here. So we have 6 Democrats getting together to impeach President Trump. You may or may not be happy with what the president's doing or with the Republicans in Congress, but this effort won't go anywhere now. If the Republicans lose the House, you can guarantee that President Trump will be impeached. Now, the fascinating part, and if the Republicans lose the Senate, if Judge Moore loses, then all of a sudden you could really have, the president being thrown out of office, and for what? Now, we're not talking about Uranium One. Hillary Clinton has responded to that. You'll hear that here in an effort to wake you up and start the day. Maybe kind of grumpy after you hear from Hillary Clinton at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. But the audacity of these individuals to do it, and, kind of like what Pro-Life said, not one Republican did this when President Obama was running wild. When President Obama had the NSA, had the FBI, had the CIA investigate people using the FISA court to go after a journalist, James Rosen, to go after Cheryl Atkinson, illegally doing all of this. And yet, here you have 6 Democrats. And, whether you agree with them, I doubt it, or not, you have to admire their tenacity. Certainly the Republican Party didn't have this.
There are many reasons why I think the president is an awful president, an awful person. But not all of those reasons rise to the level of impeaching a sitting president. We are not seeking his impeachment because of what he did before he was president. For example, he proudly bragged about sexually assaulting women. And he has been linked to such a long list of sexually inappropriate conduct that I think it is fair to conclude that he is hostile to women in general. We are not seeking...
Now, I'm sorry to go all 1994 on you, or 95, or 98, but where was Representative Gutierrez back during the Clinton days, the Harvey Weinstein days, the other days? So we're going to impeach President Trump based on unsubstantiated allegations concerning the Russians, and we're going to impeach him for the Access Hollywood tape. By the way, he still got elected after that tape. As revolting as it may be, the American public did choose President Trump. So let me try and go back to this. We're going to try and undermine an election.
To impeach him because of the growing racial and ethnic tension in this country. That, in my opinion, this president knowingly and willingly activates by playing up racial hatred and bias. And he thrives on it.
Right. High crimes and misdemeanors. No, I'm not quoting the book by Ann Coulter that launched her so many years ago. That's what impeachment means. Has to be a high crime or a misdemeanor. Do you see this? And those of you that are critical of the Republicans, how come nobody did this concerning President Obama, who got away with the IRS going after, persecuting Tea Party folks, conservative folks, people that passed and promoted Prop 8 in California? Now, whether you agree with people or not on politics, you should not be persecuted for your beliefs by the government. Lois Lerner with the IRS. Folks in the Justice Department still there. But you have 6 Democrats trying to float this. It won't go anywhere unless the Republicans lose the House and the Senate. That might be the only reason to keep them around. What do you think? I'd like to hear from you next. 580-5436, 580-KIDO. You're listening to Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio.
My name is Taylor. I'm a member of the New Life program here at City Light, and it has just opened the door to so many new things in my life. When I first got to City Light, I was a wreck. I was lower than low and didn't know how to change my life. I actually wasn't ready at the time. Ended up leaving and came back a couple short weeks later after God looked me in the face and said, it's this or you're not going to make it. And he guided me through those doors with hope all around me even when I felt hopeless, until I could get to a realization that this was God walking side by side with me. When you get to the last level of an elevator, you're ready to walk forward. When you get to the lowest level below the basement, there's no hope for you. You feel that you've lost everything in your life in just a few brief seconds. It doesn't take much to lose everything. It takes a long time to gain everything back. That's been the hardest part. I also have a 4-year-old son. And to feel like I could not take care of him made me feel hopeless and sad for him. City Light is amazing. When you first come through that door, everybody is so warm and welcoming, and that first time you walk through that door, that's the biggest thing. But it's really not as big as it is the courage and the strength that it shows in your character if you stay there. It's a blessing to turkey, everyone jokes, but turkey always remind me of Thanksgiving, and I always think of Thanksgiving as, like, with my family, we used to say what we're thankful for, and every single one of those children, when they receive a turkey, or Turkey Tuesday is what we do at the mission, and just the light of joy that it brings to their face with one another, because all of those children, each and every one of them, can tell you right off the bat what they are grateful for. To give a monetary donation to the mission is very important to us as programmers and other people in the mission, just because of the fact that there are some of the things that the mission can't provide for us. Such as certain medications, if somebody needs a certain type of clothing, or when we graduate, it helps them get started on a better future. There's so many different things.
All right, good morning. We continue on here at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Kevin Miller in the morning, taking your phone calls. And, of course, we're here at the Walmart collecting turkeys for the Boise Rescue Mission. Do want to remind you, our topic right now is an effort to impeach the President of the United States. Is this grandstanding, or do you buy it? Here is Representative Stephen Cohen of Tennessee.
We believe that President Trump has violated the Constitution, and we've introduced 5 articles of impeachment.
5 articles of impeachment. Now, again, former President Obama can sick the IRS on people. The NSA, with unsubstantiated allegations, have the FBI investigate candidate Trump with a phony FISA court ruling, and yet nothing happens. I'm echoing pro-life here. Donald Trump says some bad things, and they're going to get him. Traffic and weather together with Kevin Miller in the morning.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody!
And let's go to Liberty Linda at KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Liberty Linda.
Yes, good morning, Kevin. How can we do these things to our president? He has done more for us, we the people, than any president that I know of. And he's giving us our freedoms back. He's done more in the last year. Anyway, I just wanted to I just don't understand it. It just, it's unbelievable. Excuse me. It's unbelievable to me what's going on. Anyway, I really just wanted to call in, Kevin, and share how wonderful it is to hear the testimonies of how many people's lives have been changed by going to the Boise Rescue Mission. It's changed so many people's lives. They not only get a hot meal there, but they also hear the word of the Lord there. They get acquainted with the Lord, which gives them warmth in their souls forever. And I think that's one of the most wonderful things that they do there at the Boise Rescue Mission. So anyway, I would just like to ask everyone listening to please give $1, give $5, or you can even give a turkey and not be a turkey. So that's my message today.
Well, we thank you for stopping by yesterday. We had a great time.
Oh, it was so much fun seeing you. It's wonderful. And, you know, people don't know how much work you actually do there. You're working all day long.
You know, my finger is kind of tired from all the pointing and clicking, yes.
I can imagine after just watching you, I was getting tired. And Kevin, get a foot heater.
You know, that's the thing that the corporate folks have cut back on our foot heater. You know, I filed a grievance from the union, and you know, usually I have a foot heater here so I can wear shorts in the cold, but so far my requests have been denied.
Well, you know, it's okay when you got the heat on there for a few seconds, but when it's off, boy, it gets cold really fast. So anyway,
it does.
And you get it cold every year that you go there.
You are correct, and you know the suits just say, "Huh, tough." They don't care, Liberty Linda.
Well, we love you and we care. We want you to stay warm so you don't get a cold. But we appreciate all the hard work you do, and it's just wonderful for the Treasure Valley. All the marvelous things that they do there at the, Boise Rescue Mission. It warms our hearts.
It'd be a lot warmer with that little mobile heater that we used to have. You're right.
I love a foot heater. So anyway, yeah. Hope to hear that you get it soon.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they were only listening.
And it was wonderful talking to Liberal Steve yesterday, too. Thank you for that.
Oh, well, Santa's here right now.
Oh, he is. Oh, hi, Santa. Good to see you. Good to hear you.
Why don't we bring Santa over here? What's
Santa Claus doing anyway?
Okay, well, Santa, tell us a little bit about what you're doing here, Santa.
Happy Thanksgiving. I'm here to make sure we get turkeys coming in left and right. I dropped off a sleigh full, so I expect everybody that followed me from the North Pole to be dropping some today. But come on, Idaho, let's get out here, get the potatoes going, and bring some cherries, too, because I like to have a little cherry pie, and Christmas is just around the corner, and they leave cherry pie out for me.
Thank you, Santa. That's what we call liberal tune-out. Liberty Linda, thank you very much. You're listening to Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Maggie. And we continue on here. Miller's Mission continues. Our friend Dusty joins us to talk a little bit more about the Boise Rescue Mission. Plus, coming up, we'll talk more about Dr. Custer's legacy at Boise State. In addition to that, your chance to win Rod Stewart tickets, all by listening to yours truly, Kevin Miller, here at KIDO Talk Radio. Dusty, good to have you with us.
Good morning, Kevin. Great day to be alive.
It's almost like a progress report when we have folks on again and again and again, really showing, not telling, but showing the difference their donations, their volunteer work, their prayers can make in people's lives.
Absolutely. It's just incredible what the donors come in. I work in the warehouse at Boise Rescue Mission, and I just see all the turkeys coming in, and we're filling our coolers up, and it is just such a blessing to see all these coming in. And I helped with the banquets last year, and serving the homeless coming in, and the donors helping serving food, and just to see the smiles and the warmth, and then be able to sit around a table and get a warm meal and share each other's company. It's just a blessing.
It is indeed, and we focus on the people that live at the mission, but there are many people that either are homeless or they can't afford a meal that are fed every day, either here in Nampa or in Boise.
Yes, absolutely.
And you've seen that again and again, folks coming in off the street. What does it mean when they have that warm meal and a quiet place to enjoy it?
They're able to take on their day, and they don't have to worry about, if they're going to get a meal within the next day or so. They can be, satisfied that they're going to be fed. And, we serve 3 hot meals a day, and they can come in from the cold and be able to sit down, relax, kind of not have to worry about survival all the time.
And you? Do you worry about survival anymore?
You know, I can't tell you how much the Boise Rescue Mission has helped me out. I came in a very broken man. I was in a park crying, and I was living in my storage unit. I couldn't hold a job. And I remember my family talking to me on the phone saying, look, there's a New Life program at the mission. And, you know, it took me a while to get in there because of my pride. And finally I just kind of broke down and said, all right, let's do this. And, you know, I went through the New Life program. And now I work full-time with the Boise Rescue Mission, been over a year now. And I have purpose in my life. And I just see how many people are being helped by this great organization.
How tough was it for you to overcome your pride?
You know, it's still always there a little bit. I think we all kind of struggle with that on a daily basis. But what the Rescue Mission has really taught me is that I can be a part of the community, and that helping other people is truly like what we're meant to do as human beings, and to be there for other people that are suffering. And, you know, it's just so nice to be able to supply people with either food boxes that come in, or moms that don't have anything for their babies, you know, give them baby supplies, and just to see their faces and their reactions that I mean, that's why I continue to work at the Boise Rescue Mission.
Let's talk a little bit about the New Life program. We've heard so much about it. Is it a tough program?
You know, it can be, and it is what you put into it. And, you know, there's classes every day. You wake up, you do a devotion in the morning. You're constantly in the Word. And, you know, you're always doing some kind of service, volunteer work. And so it really teaches you a good work ethic and help working with other people. And then just kind of being less selfish and self-centered, and being more and giving and sharing of your time.
Let's go back to your days in the storage unit. What led you to that?
You know, I had been drinking for, you know, over a decade, and I just was bad depression. I just couldn't do anything with my life, and so I just remember laying in the storage unit that night, that the next day when I had gone into the mission, just thinking, you know, what is going on here? And I felt like I couldn't do anything myself to get out of that. And I really needed the staff of the Boise Rescue Mission. And not only that, I found Jesus Christ in my life through the mission, and that to me has changed everything.
Dusty, you make it seem so easy to do this. Anything else you'd like to share to encourage people to come out? You
know, I had some heavy news last night. I got a text from a friend, and it was a really close friend of mine, and she's just passed away from an overdose, and it's just, you know, she was just a bright young woman, and she had so much life ahead of her, and it's just, you know, that's how dangerous and sick this disease is, and how fast it can take you out. And, you know, I'm just hoping anybody that listens to this, there is hope out there. The Boise Rescue Mission will take you in. And, you know, if you really are seeking help and want to get better, there are people there that will help.
And you're an example of that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Dusty. 580-5436, 580-KIDO. A couple things going on. The battle over Judge Roy Moore. Will he, in fact, get the boot? A lot of people are talking about it, and will it hurt the Republican Party? You're listening to Kevin Miller here at KIDO Talk Radio. Remember, we're going to give you a chance to see Rod Stewart. Tickets go on sale to see Rod Stewart. That would be tomorrow. Win them before you can buy it, number one. Number two, keep it here for your chance to win to see Rod Stewart. We'll have a pair coming up to give you and another pair to give you as well, just by listening here at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. But it goes down to Judge Roy Moore. Of course, you can listen to Sean Hannity every afternoon. He has the insight on that. We've both lived in Alabama. We both worked in the same place, and I believe that Judge Roy Moore, despite everything, will be elected. But here's what people are buzzing about.
Should Roy Moore resign, Mr. President? Do you believe his accusers? Do you believe the accusers of Roy Moore, Mr. President? Should he resign?
being harassed by media and by people pushing for allegations.
When these allegations came out within the last week, it was incredibly painful for him, for his wife, his mom.
It seems to me that the statements made by the women up in Etowah County have much more credibility than the denials, whether it's by Roy Moore himself or his handlers.
Release the yearbook so that we can determine, is it genuine or is it a fraud?
There's really no response, that I need to make. That's not an issue for me.
You still hold that everything written in that yearbook was written by Judge Moore, or was it written by somebody else? That's not an allegation, it's a question.
We're staying in our lane. We're focusing on our issues. It's a problem that he's going to have to deal with. I'm not even that familiar with the facts.
There we have it, 580-5436, 580-KIDO. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Judge Moore. What's next for him?
I don't think Mr. Moore could be an effective senator given the baggage he has.
So is it up to the Washington politicians, or is it up to the people in his state? We'll talk a little bit about that. Plus, we still haven't heard from you concerning the call for President Trump to be impeached. 6 congressional Democrats have said they want it to happen. If you haven't heard that story, we'll give it to you next. In addition to that, a lot of in additions, Dr. Custra says goodbye. Is this a good thing or a bad thing for Boise State? You're listening to Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio.
Hi, my name is Peggy. I'm the New Life Program Manager. I've been in this position for actually just a few months, but I have been with the mission in December. It'll be 8 years. I started volunteering. Every Tuesday, I sat at the front desk and answered the phone. And then one day, one of the admin assistants came and said, guest services need some help. And I said, no, I don't think I can do that. And she said, oh, yes, you can. So that's how my really 8 years started. I have never had an addiction. I've never been in trouble with the law. So my first thoughts were, I don't know if I could relate, because that's the perception of homelessness. And once I got started, I learned and I felt you don't have to have an addiction to love the people that are in the mission, that come for help. All they're looking for is a little space, a little time to be able to breathe, have somebody on their side, have somebody rooting for them, hugging them, letting them know that Jesus loves them, we love them, and you're welcome. And by offering 3 meals a day for them and some support, some help finding a job, that's what they need. That's what they need. So it wasn't very long where I fell in love with my job. I fell in love with the ladies at the mission. Stories, when I started, I used to go home and cry because stories that have happened in their lives, I knew that I wouldn't have made it to be the age of 16. But as my years have passed, I no longer cry. Every now and then, maybe. But I see the success. I see them, they'll call me back and say, hey, Peggy, I've got my own place. They've always said, Peggy, why don't you come, when I leave, I want to come back and visit. And I always give them the, no, you don't want to come back and visit me. I want to see you out living your life. I want to see you shopping at Walmart like I do. And I see them there. So, I don't know what I would do or where I would be if I didn't work at the mission.
And there we have it, some observations from our friend Peggy from yesterday. Kevin Miller in the morning here. Miller's Mission, we continue on taking your phone calls at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. We'll be here till Saturday night at 6. We'd love for you to join us. Brought to you by Team Mazda Subaru, the Boise Rescue Mission, and our friends at Camping World Boise, where we ask you to give a turkey. Don't be a turkey as we move along here at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Dr. Kustra is stepping down from Boise State. Let's get the latest from our friends at Channel 7.
Why he was always the right guy for the job. You know, he was going to move forward with or without help.
For Alan Dykeman, there was really only one man for the job.
From the day I met him, I knew he was the right guy for the job.
Dykeman was president of the Boise State University Foundation back in 2003 and was on the board who hired Dr. Bob Kustra away from Eastern Kentucky.
He is just taking the school, you know, leaps and bounds from what it used to be.
Over Dr. Kustra's 15 years as the Boise State University president, he's helped grow the campus with the addition of the Environmental Research Building, Micron Business and Economics Building, Norco Building, Alumni and Friends Center, and the Honors College.
I'm just totally amazed what the school is today. It's just really grown.
Dr. Kustra was also instrumental in moving the entire computer science program into downtown Boise, just steps away from some of those businesses that have partnered with the school.
He provided services that the community asked for. So I think he fulfilled a need in the state of Idaho to have education and business work together.
Just this year, Boise State welcomed its largest incoming class, breaking last year's record.
We see a lot of demand for some of their degree programs, such as computer science.
There we have Dr. Linda Clark, president of the Idaho State Board of Education, talking about Dr. Bob Kustra. Your thoughts, your views, unfiltered, uncensored, on Dr. Kustra's rule, his reign, his tenure at Boise State. 580-5436, 580-KIDO. Dr. Kustra took the school to a certain level, but again, you could take a look at Chris Peterson, you could take a look at Gene Blameyer. And to me, why not bring back Gene Blameyer? Gene Blameyer, in my opinion, never should have lost his job to begin with. You look at the allegations in college football with what's going on, and essentially Gene Blameyer was shown the door for, in my opinion, internal politics. You take a look at the Boise State wrestling. They're gone. It's strange when you think of a great leader, a great athlete, a great politician. Sometimes at the end they lose a little of their fastball. The last year, which, again, we've reported, we're the only independent outlet when it comes to Boise State University for a few reasons. When Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General, calls you out for not allowing free speech, that's not a good thing. When you pick a fight with the congressman who could be the governor, that's not a good thing. When you, when you do this again and again and again, that's not a good thing. And perhaps that's the reason why Dr. Kustra's leaving. But again, good or bad, can't argue with his level of success. But Dr. Kustra, with all due respect, had a lot of help from a guy named Chris Peterson, where he had a team do the unthinkable, beat the unbeatable. Dr. Kustra had a lot of help from a guy he inherited, Gene Blameyer, who created something that continues to be the thorn in the side of most college football power programs, and it's called the Blue. And for Mr. Blameyer's work, you know when people always say, you can't be fired, you can't be this? If you can fire the father of the Blue and exile him to San Jose State, you can fire just about anybody, I'd say. Now, again, these comments may seem to be unfair, but they are different from what you're getting everywhere else. Dr. Kustra has, again, created a huge university. On the other hand, you've had a lot of people criticize him for the lack of free speech there. We'll talk more about that next. Traffic and weather together. Yes, Reverend Bill, we'll get to you in a minute. Kevin Miller in the morning here. Phone numbers 580-5436. Give a turkey, don't be a turkey. Good morning, everybody.